Good morning, all my yarny friends. It sounds like a lot of us got snow. The thing about this area of Oklahoma, we're in outside Oklahoma City in a little city called Yukon. In this area of Oklahoma, sometimes we do get snow, but it's usually a lot of ice. And to me, that's more scary than snow. I actually was born in Iowa. My grandfather is Don Taft of Mount Pleasant, Iowa. He was a very well-known football coach. Any of you from Iowa, you can look him up, Don Taft. He's very well-known. Anyway, I was born in Iowa. Then we moved down to Tulsa when I was just like 3 or 4 or something. So I don't really remember much other than going back to visit my grandma in Iowa, and it felt like it was always so cold there. When we moved to Colorado about 12 years ago, I was unprepared for the amount of snow I was going to get. But the difference in Colorado is it was a drier climate. We lived south of Denver, so they called it the upper desert. It wasn't near as cold. It seems like when it's 30 degrees here in Oklahoma, where we have all this humidity, it is so much more cold than when we lived in Colorado because it was drier there. I went outside with the dogs this morning and it was just, oh my word, the wind and the snow flying everywhere, and it was like ice balls hitting you in the face. It was so cold. I had to take the flashlight because it was dark out and sort of stand behind the side of the house to brace it so the dogs could go potty. Speaking of the dogs, I want to show you this little video I took of Rosie this morning because she's doing so good. And I just put it on my iPad. I'm going to put it on the other camera. But I'm just so excited about the way that she's doing. If you remember, when we took her to the doctor, she couldn't even use her back legs. And her front paw was infected as well. And so, they told us, if they can't get her better, it might be her time to go over the Rainbow Bridge. She is 15. But I am so excited. I want to show you this video. I just got it on my iPad, but I took this morning. All right, let me go to the other camera. And let me hit that. Here she is. Isn't that something? I'm just so excited about her doing so well. I'm going to play it a couple more times so you can see her. We got this wedge. It's actually used for putting on your bed for when you have bad heartburn at night. My husband bought it for me. I didn't like it. It was a little too stiff because it's a really stiff sponge. And now Rosie is hopping right up that thing and getting up on her blanket and resting. Max is even using it too, but I just wanted to show you how well that our Rosie is doing. Did you see her moving up there so fast? Alrighty, I'll click back over to the other. I just had to show you that because I'm just so excited. When I saw her finally using the I call it a wedge, because that's kind of what it is. It's just a big hard piece of, not styrofoam, but sponge foam that is really, really soft, but it's sturdy enough that she can hop up on it and get right up on the couch. And the first time I saw her do it, I thought I was just going to burst into tears because, it's just crazy. What's the temperature here? 31 degrees. That's so cold. All right, so that's our Rosie. Now, today we're going to talk a little bit about Granny Squares, and I was going to show you the new Red Heart yarn. Unfortunately, when they sent it to my house in Colorado, and I haven't lived there for almost 1.5 years now, right? I mean, we've been in this new house for over 1 year, and we were in the rental for 6 months, so it's almost 2 years, and they still sent it over there because I don't know why. And so I didn't get it. Maybe it'll come in the next few days. But if you're wanting to know about the new Red Heart yarn, it's called Red Heart Granny Square All-in-One. And I have a video for you. I'm not going to play it, of course, because it's not mine. But Nastasia, I think that's how you say her channel, Donna Wolf, she's one of my favorites as far as YouTube channels go. She does a really honest opinion review of that yarn. She pulls it out and makes the granny square, explains a little bit about tension and things like that. If you really want a good, honest review of that yarn, okay? Not that when I get it here, I'm not going to be honest, because you know I will. But I'm just disappointed because mine went to the wrong house. And so when it comes in, I'll show it to you. But I do have a yarn I am going to show you in a little bit. But I wanted to talk to you because one of the patterns that we did yesterday is our January garnet pattern, and I have it here on a blocking board so that you can see it really well. I'm going to click over back to this other oh, we forgot to clink in. Ah! We have to clink in on this cold and snowy, blowy morning. Although I'm seeing some of you from Texas that aren't getting the weather, so that's good. It's so weird how one state to the next, and sometimes it doesn't have anything to do with how low you are, or even if you're up in Canada, it's the way the weather works. And one person gets a ton of snow, another person gets nothing, you know. So anyway, clinkety clink clink clinkety clink clink clink. And I am drinking full strong Folgers coffee today with just a little bit of my sugar-free creamer in there. Woo! All right, I'm going to click over to the other camera now. And this is, I'm going to answer some questions about granny squares in just a minute. But this is I'm calling it an Afghan square, a crochet square. And this is the January garnet one. And a lot of people are asking me, well, is that really a granny square since it doesn't have the traditional granny square shape? And so let me explain to you just a little bit about granny squares. And here's a traditional one. Okay, so I looked up some information, and I've got some quotes from you from some other people. First of all, where did the granny square start? Okay, this is what it says. Granny squares started back in 1891 in the Art of Crocheting, which was a book, as an engraving, but made its first publishing in 1897. Published in Weldon's Practical Needlework. It was a way to work with scraps of yarn instead of throwing them away. Well, yeah. So, but why is it called a granny square? Okay, there's two reasons. It says grannies or grandmas were typically the ones making them. And to the end, you don't need great eyesight, meaning at the end of your life, you know, like me, I'm going to be 61 next month. You don't have to have great eyesight. I don't. That's why I wear, you know, glasses and bifocals. Okay, you don't need great eyesight to make them, or any eyesight at all. They are that simple in their original design. Okay, so they were called granny squares because it was us grannies who were making them. Okay, in the 1970s, granny squares became so popular. They were used in garments, bags, blankets, everything. It was so popular that Europe tended, not intended, to refer to granny squares as an American crochet or American crochet technique. All right. So, but here's the question. Is it a granny square? Is it an Afghan square? Or is it a crochet square? So, the basic traditional granny square is a granny square. It's traditionally made with 3 double crochets in a cluster with chain 2s. Okay, that's just your basic. And we do them a lot of different ways for different reasons. Okay, when it's just the traditional granny square, it's a granny square. When you take these granny squares and make them with the intention to make an Afghan, which an Afghan is a blanket. Hang on, I got a little tickle. When you make them with the intention to put them together in a blanket, it's called an Afghan square. Both the Afghan square and the granny square are called crochet squares. It really just depends on what you want to call them. None of them are wrong and none of them are right. They're just granny squares, Afghan squares, and of course, crochet squares because they're crochet. I love to make granny squares, and you know, granny squares are making a really big resurgence. You know, they're coming back in style. If you go to several of the crochet, actually, several of the yarn companies, they all have new patterns with granny squares in them. And the truth is, you can make, you know, thousands of different styles of granny squares, Afghan squares, crochet squares, and do lots of different things with them. Okay, so the question is, let's go back to my granny square over here, or my crochet square that we did. This is our first granny square or crochet square or Afghan square of 2024. I almost said 2023. It's 2024. This is our garnet January square. And what we're doing is, I did a crochet along, I think it was 2017 when I did this. And so what we're doing is we're taking those squares, we're retesting, reworking, making new videos and new photos for these squares. My intention is to make a blanket out of them. I'm probably going to make 2 of each square, or maybe more. I haven't decided how many I'm going to make yet. So what we're going to do is we'll do 1 square a month, and the inspiration is our monthly birthstone. It may not be the exact birthstone. It may not be, because what I did is I got the birthstone chart from a jeweler's. I didn't get it from online. I got it from a jeweler's, and those are a little bit different in some instances opposed to the others. Okay, but we're doing 1 a month. But just remember, just because I did this in garnet red yarn, you can do this in any color that you want. As a matter of fact, I think all these squares would be really all done in one solid color, and then you'd have like a monochromatic, you know, shades, like all different shades of red or blue or brown or something. I mean, you can do whatever you want to with it. I think it's a great way to use up scrap yarn, and that's why I want to do this. And also, I love making squares. Okay, and so that's why I wanted to talk about granny squares today, and I pushed really hard to get the new granny square all-in-one yarn in, but it went to the wrong place, like I said. When it comes in, I will show it to you and give you my honest opinion. But like I said, go over to Nastasia's YouTube channel. Her name's Donna Wolf. Really nice, very intelligent lady, and I learned a lot from her. And she's really good at helping other bloggers and other YouTubers learn and things like that. I've always believed that when it comes to like people in the same genre, like crocheters that have YouTube channels or blogs, we need to be each other's greatest cheerleaders. And that's why it's real important to me to watch other YouTubers' videos and share those when I can, because I think we all need to encourage each other. And when I say, I mean, other crocheters, we're not in competition on YouTube. My opinion is I want everyone to crochet, and I want everyone to encourage everyone to crochet, you know? So it's all about cheering on my friends that do YouTube channels and other, you know, knitting and other crafts, as well as just, you know, pushing my own. Okay, and so that's why I tell you, I'll put Nastasia's link to her YouTube channel. It's underneath this video. When you're done with when we're done watching the live video, go down in that description box, and I've put her link to her YouTube channel on there that has this particular review on it. In my opinion, the yarn you get 8 ounces, but I thought it was just a smidge bit expensive. It was, I think, $9.99 on the Red Heart website, $9.79, I think, on Joann's. But remember one thing about Joann's is if you go in and fill up your cart, but you don't use it that day, the next day they'll send you a 25% off coupon, and you can use it. So keep that in mind. Alrighty. Now, this is not the Grantastic one. Someone posted this, the Grantastic crochet line from 2019. This one is not that one. This is one I did before that one. The Grantastic one is all done in one color. This one was one we did 2 years before that. Okay, I think it was 2017. Okay, so it's going to be fun. All right, I'm going to move this because I want to show you a yarn. I like to do a yarn of the week, and I just absolutely love this yarn. I'm getting it all set up here in this little bucket I like to use. Okay, let me go to this other camera. This is, oh, my coffee's, I'm going to move it because you know when I talk, I use my hands, and we don't want me to spill my coffee again. All right, this is the Premier Anti-Pilling Bamboo Chunky. All right, this has become one of my favorite chunky yarns. It is so soft. And I'm working on a pattern using this because one thing that has been brought to my attention is I don't have enough patterns for the guys. And so I'm working on a set that is a hat and scarf for the guys, but it'll be great for the girls too. I see your name is Sarah too, and spelled like mine. Very few people spell their name Sarah like mine. Sarah is it Blinkowitz? Thank you for pointing that out. There aren't enough Sarahs in the world. All right, anyway, what this is, Premier Anti-Pilling, and you can see it's exclusively at Premier. I have found this yarn, this particular yarn at Hobby Lobby and Joann's also. But I'll put my Premier link again underneath this video in that description box so you can go and check this out in their new colors. Okay, so like new, wash after wash. This is important because we want to be able to wash our things. And that's where the anti-pilling comes in. What that means is all those little balls that form when you wear it or wash it, this won't do that. And the bamboo is super soft. It's not 100% bamboo, so let me show you. 80% anti-pilling acrylic, 20% rayon from bamboo. So you're getting the strength of the acrylic and the softness of bamboo. It's a great marriage. It really is. It's a bulky 5. They suggest using a K-hook, which is a 6.5. And then here it tells you about how you're washing and stuff. Do not iron it. And I really tell people, you really should not iron your yarn. I know some people do. But when it has acrylic in it and it gets hot and melty, you can really hurt yourself. Aren't these beautiful? I know they have more colors in this. I just got these 3 colors. I had this one, remember, this one here that's the orange. Let's see, what's the color of this? Terracotta. I made the headband that has the cable on it, and I was going to show it to you this morning, but I gave it to my sister when she was here visiting because she loved it so much, so that you could see what it looks like stitched up. But don't worry. I've got a pattern coming for it in the next couple of weeks. we need some of those patterns because it's cold. And I have heard that there's a trend more going towards they want a lot more men's patterns. And I like that. I love to do ones that can be for the guys or the girls. And the truth is, you know, it's up to you what you want to make and what you want to wear. Okay, what was that? Oh, suggestions on other colors if you don't want to use the garnet. Okay, it's a medium weight number 4 acrylic yarn. So you can use any acrylic yarn you want to. Make it out of your favorite colors. You could use ombre, would be beautiful. But just remember, it's a 6-inch square. But if you want to do some ombre colors, you could do several of them, and the way the ombre would work would be really pretty. Any yarn will work, though. Any yarn, as long as it's a medium weight number 4 for the garnet pattern. You don't have to use the color I use each month. I'm just using that because that's what I want to do. And so you do what works best for you. I tell you that all the time. You do what works best for you. Okay, the other thing I wanted to tell you about Premier Yarn is they've come up with some new parfait, chunky parfait pom-pom colors. Okay, I am planning on getting some of this in in the next week. They've had so many after Christmas orders from things on sale that it's a little bit backed up in some of these places. But I have a pattern I'm working on for Easter using this parfait pom-pom. Okay, and this is on sale right now at Premier. Okay, so I wanted to let you know about that if you want to go and check that out as well, so you can get some of it. This one is the pom-pom. It's called Limelight. Limelight. Okay, it is a bulky 6. And you can see it's called pom-pom because it has all those little speckles in it. Isn't that cute? Okay. But I'll tell you more about that because it really depends on how the colors work together, how the pattern's going to go. All right, but you'll need some of that pom-pom yarn and some of the other parfaits, depending on what I decide on for that pattern, okay? So, yeah, the link for the Premier yarn is always going to be under the live video link, as long as I don't forget. And if I forget, text me and tell me I forgot. Alrighty, now let's talk about what else we did this week. Now, last week I did our first this or that video. It's kind of silly and fun, but it really just explains what the this and that videos are about. And the this and that videos, hang on, I'm getting dry again. The this and that videos, I'm going to try to have them out on Wednesdays. And basically, it's something to help me and help you and still have fun. So what I do is I have a subject or something that I want an answer to. And I'll say, do you like, one of the things I said is, what's your favorite color? Red or blue? And you can answer red or blue. And then if it's not red or blue, then you can tell me what your favorite color is. But that's not the question. I'm just letting you know what the this or that is all about. And the reason I like to do these is it helps us get to know better what each other likes. Oh, you're talking about my poncho on the back? I'll tell you about that in just a minute. Okay, and so what you'll do is you'll watch the video. They're usually between 5 and 7 minutes. I don't like for them to be very long. And so I'll ask you a question. I'll explain to you what the question's about. And then you can, down in the comments underneath the video, ask a question if you have a question about yarn or crochet, and answer the question as well that we're talking about that day. And I've got one ready for tomorrow. I need to edit it and get it ready for tomorrow. And I like to put those out there about 7:30 in the morning, because I think that gives them a chance to play during the day. So if you're looking for them on Wednesdays, 7:30 in the morning. Okay? All right, and that's what those are all about. Okay, now, the other thing that we did this week was the Valentine or Heart Filet gift bag. All right, and I'm going to show you that on the other camera. These are super fun and super pretty and super easy. And if you've never done filet, it's a great way to learn how to make filet stitches and make something really fun and useful. Because I love things that are fun and useful. All right, so, I gotta move my coffee again. Here is the filet bags. And I really, really love these. And the filet on it is the shape of a heart. And what filet stitches is we do double crochets and chain ones to form that heart. I'm going to open this up. Oh, I tied a knot. Let's not have a knot there. There we go. Okay. That's got my hand in it, so it's upside down. I was going to try to show you. Oh, here, I'll take this piece of paper that I use. We'll just slide this inside because I want you to be able to see it better. See how that heart looks? Isn't that pretty? It's really super easy and super fun. And then we just made a drawstring. And this is done off of ombre. These are off the same skein of yarn. Okay, and this is ombre. And this one started with the dark pink, and I used the light pink for the tie. And then this is the color right after this one, and it just went lighter, and I used a little bit darker for the tie. And it's a great size bag. It's just a perfect little fun size bag to put candies or treats. It's fun to put jewelry. Just make sure you put it in a little box or bag. Bracelets. It's great to put. If you're like me, I like to put different kinds of things. Like I might buy a bracelet and then wrap it around a candy bar and stick it in there. Fun things like that. So they're great for gift giving and filling with candy and goodies. But also, if you're going to have a Valentine's party and you want to just give out prizes, this is great too. Or a party, maybe a group of girls are having a Galentine party, and you can fill it with lotions and body washes and stuff like that you get over on the travel section. So that has lots of really great ideas for that bag. So, isn't that fun? I just thought they were just super duper fun. Okay, I'm checking my notes here, seeing if I got anything else I have to tell you. Oh, I know what I was going to tell you. This yarn that I showed you, this yarn right here that I showed you, I had someone ask me if I could make a mash-up hat. And what a mashup is you take a couple of different patterns that are yours, of course, mine, and you put them together and make something new out of it. And if you remember, last summer I took my messy bun hat and one of my sun hats and one of my bucket hats, and I mashed them together to make a ponytail or messy bun bucket hat. It was so cute. Okay, so they asked me, and I found this so fascinating. They wanted me to make a messy bun hat with ear flaps and a tie with pom-poms. I've got this in my mind, and I think, I don't know, I think it's a really neat idea. But I don't know that I'll do that with this particular yarn, but they were asking me about it. When I actually showed the other yarn when I did the headband, and they were asking me, they picked up some of this yarn, they were asking me if I could do that hat. And I don't know yet, but I thought it was a really cool idea. Everybody is doing lots of mashup things, and so I thought, well, it wouldn't be much different than just an ear flap hat off of one of my patterns. Just leave the top open so you could put your messy bun out of it. And it was actually a guy who asked me about it because he wears, he called it a top knot. I don't know anything about hairdos. So he called it a top knot, and he likes, but he works outside, and he wants an ear flap hat for the winter. And I thought, well, that's really an interesting idea. So I'm going to have to think about that. All right, let me tell you about this poncho on the back of my chair. This is my very first scrap happy poncho I ever made, and you can see if you look at it close, it's been worn a lot. Every time I wear this poncho, I get lots of compliments. The stitch is really pretty, it's warm, and it's made with 2 long strips put together, and then we put the top on. This does not have a video. I never did the video for this. I wrote this pattern 2015 or 2016, something like that. But it is a free pattern on my blog. You can find it. It's just called the Scrap Happy. It might be called Winter Poncho, but it's Scrap Happy Poncho. And the reason that it's out is because it was cold this morning, and if I put the poncho on, I can hold my flashlight and keep track of my dogs without having to hold my blanket on, because this is like wearing a blanket. And it is so comfy. Let me slide it on and pop my glasses off for a second. All right, I gotta see. So let me put my glasses back on. Okay. And it's one of my favorite things I've ever made using scrap yarn. It's really big and long. See, it's really, I'll walk backwards. See how big and long it is? And the truth is, the bigger you make it, the longer the stripes are, the longer it'll be. And I love it. I absolutely love it. And like I said, I don't have a pattern for it. I mean, no. I have a written pattern with pictures. I even have a diagram on there to show you how to put it together. But I don't have a video for it. I just haven't done it yet. I had plans to do it actually last winter. No, it was the winter before we moved. We moved and I couldn't get it done. And then it got put on the back burner. But if you want to make one, it's really, really easy. The pattern itself is just your typical single double stitch on every row. And of course you can get the stitch counts on the blog. Okay. If you're looking for it, you can go to Ravelry and put in Scrap Happy Poncho in my Ravelry, or you can go to my blog and do the same thing. I'll see if I can put the link. I didn't put it in there because my chair's stuck. I didn't put the link down there because I wasn't planning on wearing this, today. But I'll put it in there if you want to make it. It's really super easy. And like I said, I mean, I love how all the colors. I've got solids. I've got variegateds, and this is all stitched in medium weight #4 acrylic. Nothing fancy, just leftovers. And even up here is just, it's just put together and stitched up. It's super easy, super duper easy. Okay, I'm going to try to get my chair unstuck. There we go. Nope, I didn't. I guess I'm going to sit back here for the rest of the video then. Oh, I'm toasty warm in this. But, I mean, if you're someone like me, you go out with your dogs, and, my dogs go outside and I don't allow them to go out by themselves because I just don't trust, because we have coyotes and we have a lot of hawks and I just don't let them go out by themselves. And so when it's cold, it's kind of nice to put something on that you don't have to hold, a blanket on. And I always take a flashlight so I can check, So anyway, that's what it is. I saw you talking about it, so I thought I'd tell you all about it. And like I said, if you want it to be longer, you just add more stitches here so that you have more depth. But all that is talked about on the blog. Okay? So I'll try my best to remember to put that link in there after we're done. If I forget, go ahead and put it in the comments. Sarah, you forgot to put the link for the poncho. And that'll remind me to do it, okay? Well, it's been fun talking with you guys today. It's snowy and blowy and cold outside, but I'm okay with that because my Rosie's over here sleeping and doing good. Max is doing good. Both my pups are doing good. And I have plenty to do today in the crochet stuff. So, although I won't be going to the store today because I do not like to drive on ice. Tuesday's usually the day I like to go after we're done and run a few errands. All right. Oh, before we go, I don't want to forget about this month's giveaway. Let me show you again the box. I did a little rearranging just to give you another better sneak peek. Look at all that yarn. All right. If you want to be involved in the January giveaway, you need to go back to last Tuesday's live video and comment on that live video. I usually tell people, just put on there, I want to win the giveaway. Because what we do, the Tuesday morning after, we did it, we told you what the giveaway was last, the video, I lost my train of thought. Last Tuesday, we told you what the giveaway was, okay? And you have 2 weeks to comment, but you have to comment on that video. Okay, so next Tuesday, I'll announce the winner. And what we do the morning of next Tuesday is we take all the names and we put them in the random generator. When the name comes up, I check to make sure they haven't won in the last year or two. And then we announce the winner on that day's video. So you have until Tuesday morning at about 7 o'clock. Although one morning I forgot to do it and I did it at 10. So anyway, you just comment on last week's video. You don't have to do anything else, and you're in, and it's open worldwide. We don't. There's a couple places I don't ship to just because everything gets lost when it goes there. But so far, the winner hasn't been from those particular places. But anyway, that's what it is. And it's like I said, I was gonna put this in a medium box, but there's too much yarn, so it's in a large box. Okay. Alrighty. With that, I'm going to let you go and have a warm cup of coffee and a great day.